Kirk Ronan's fortunes were growing. It had once been Sodor's fastest growing town thanks to its burning industries. More and more churches and shops were being built, so it meant the engines were busier than ever. The passenger trains were mostly handled by Emily. Though sometimes other engines, like James, would sometimes help. However, despite the extra help, Emily felt a little overworked. She was still fairly new to the island and was quite eager to prove herself. "Calm down, Emily," Thomas reassured her. "Simmer down and you'll be fine. Sir Topham Hatt thinks you're a very useful engine." Emily always felt better after talking to Thomas. She liked all her new friends, but Thomas was the friendliest of them. He would often cheer her up on days when she felt extra overwhelmed. "Thomas is right," agreed her driver. "You are doing a splendid job with the trains." This made Emily feel better. Sir Topham Hatt could also tell that Emily was feeling a little overworked, so he came to see his engines with a very important announcement. "Good morning, engines. I have a very important announcement to make. I am very pleased with all of you for running the Kirk Ronan trains, but it is clear to me that you need help. So I've borrowed an engine from the mainland as a temporary solution until we find a permanent solution. He is a B-12 class, so please make him feel welcome." "Yes, sir," puffed the engines, but they felt doubtful. "Do you know who it's going to be, sir?" asked Emily. "I'm not sure yet, Emily, but he will be staying with you in your shed." Then he left. "You don't think it's..." began Henry. "I sure hope not," said Edward. Later, Edward was at Wellsworth with a goods train. He was the first to meet the newcomer. Edward gaped and stared at the blue B-12. "Why, hello, Edward," oiled 9462 in his usual condescending way. "So, it's you, 98462, said Edward uncomfortably. "My name is Alfred," he said, "and I would appreciate it if you called me that. I would think that your controller would have had the sense to have scrapped you by now, old-timer." And I would have thought that an engine over 101 years old would have had the decency to change their views by now. Especially with all that we steam engines are facing. Steam engines like you, not like me. You've always been obsolete, and you always will be. Before Edward could say another word, Alfred steamed away. Edward was speechless. Later, Alfred crept into the storage shed where Emily was staying. "Why, hello, sweetheart," he began in his condescending way. "My name is..." "Oh, so it's you," Emily said bluntly. "What's with the harsh welcome?" asked Alfred. "I've heard of you," Emily sniffed. "Edward, Gordon, and Henry told me how horrible you've been to them in the past." "Why are you bringing that up?" snarled Alfred. "The past is in the past, and I wouldn't even listen to anything that those three have to say for your own good. They're nothing but a bunch of liars, useless engines. You know, I would be the top link express engine if it weren't for Gordon. He stole my express back in 1923. "From what I hear," said Emily, "you were riding roughly and put your passengers at risk. So, if you had your express stolen from you, I'm sure it was well deserved." "You're just like the other engines here, I see," barked Alfred. "So incredibly naive. And anyway, you should be thanking me. I am here because apparently you can't keep up with your own work. And looking at you, I can see why. Pah, a sterling single," he sneered. "And now I must get my rest. I've got a busy day tomorrow. Unlike you, I'm going to be really useful." Emily was glad that Alfred had gone to sleep. She found him very unpleasant and was feeling overwhelmed from her jobs earlier. Emily couldn't stay cross for long, for Thomas soon came puffing in to tell her about his day. This always made her feel better. Emily told Thomas all about Alfred and everything he had said. "Just ignore him," puffed Thomas. "He's always been like that. So, it's not your fault." Emily felt better. But Alfred was less than impressed. "What's this? You silly engines woke me up from my sleep." "I am simply making her feel better from the things that you said to her," snapped Thomas. "Ha! Boyfriend indeed! Don't you two realize there's an important engine here trying to get some rest?" "But Thomas always comes to my shed and talks to me whenever I feel overwhelmed by my work." "I care about my friends," snorted Thomas. "Something you know nothing about." just as cheeky and annoying as I remember," snorted Alfred, and went crossly back to sleep.